let's talk about this Broncos defense a little bit. Have you been surprised by how well they've played? Obviously, Alex Singleton is a huge blow, in my
Yeah.
opinion. The guy's had a million tackles, never leaves the field. But have you been surprised at how well they've been able to play these first 3 weeks?
Um, yeah, I mean, surprised. I wouldn't say surprised because I saw some of that last year, and the offense just didn't hold up their end of the bargain last year, and weren't able to kind of put up points on the board. So the defensive performances went unnoticed. But I think that eventually they would bend, and eventually they would break late in the game last year. But I think they showed some signs of stiffening up, especially after that run where they were pretty bad last year in the 70-point game they gave up to the Dolphins. But after that, I think they made a lot of improvements. And, Alex Singleton was talking in the offseason about how much better he felt in the system with Vance Joseph being there for a second year, and how much cleaner it felt, how much crisper everyone was with the terminology and what was expected of them, and how much he expected them to improve. And so when I heard him saying that, during mini camps, I believed it, and I was ready to see what I have seen. But Alex Singleton himself is going to be very difficult to replace. I mean, like you talked about, all the tackles. And to me, he's just the heartbeat of that defense, and just the absolute tip of the spear, was around the ball every moment, was the energetic sort of pace setter for everyone out there. And so someone's going to have to step up and be that guy. And I think that's going to be really hard to find.
Yeah, I mean, this offseason they lost Justin Simmons, they lost Josie Jewell. Those are like two of the big leaders out there. And then now Alex Singleton. I just think he might not be that household name that everybody in the NFL knows, but he was really the guy for this Broncos defense that, like you mentioned, always around the ball. So I do think that that's going to be a huge loss.
Oh yeah, yeah, and just his story. I mean, he's 31 years old. He didn't play, in the
Yeah.
NFL until he was 26. He bounced around in the CFL. He played for the Eagles, but he just kind of just kept going and kept coming and kept coming, and tore his ACL in the first half, and played the
Crazy.
rest of the game, and led the team in tackles. And so I think,
How? How do you do that?
yeah, because he's an animal, and that's kind of how that's the ethos that's guided him to this point. And so it's like you don't turn that off. And even afterward the game, he was interviewed, didn't mention anything about his knee. He's just talking about how he's excited to have a week with the guys, and looking forward to the Jets. I mean, the guy is not. He just didn't stop, and now he's going to have to. And it's just your heart goes out to him because he's worked so hard to get here, and then he signed a nice contract, and he's a team leader, and everybody's looking at him to be the pace setter, and all of a sudden he's got to disappear because those guys literally disappear from our consciousness after that happens. So he's going to have his surgery. He's going to be on his own schedule now, and he's not going to be with the guys anymore. And it's just kind of a bummer that that's going to be his experience after kind of putting in all this work.
Yeah, yeah. It's a tough league to just continuously make it and perform like that. So